Meow meow.
May kembot ako. This week, we had to see some relatives, and on the way there, my siblings and I drove through Tondo, Manila, where my mother's side of the family is from. Both sets of my maternal great-grandparents moved to Tondo from Bulacan around the 1900s. My great-grandfather Benito worked in the bodega of the U.S. Army quartermasters, which managed military supplies. This was their office near Pasig River in 1918. Lolo Benito's house was a few blocks away from the docks and the Tutuban train station. My maternal grandfather and grandmother were both born in Tondo, and they raised their family in Tondo. My grandfather Nicanor was a dentist. My grandmother Eugenia was a trained beautician and was the proprietor behind the Selecta Beauty Parlor. Lolo Canor's clinic and Lola Henia's salon were both along Calle Sande, and that street is now called Juan Luna Street. My mother and her siblings were all born in Tondo. My mother went to grade school in Jose Rizal Elementary School, and my parents got married at the Immaculate Conception Parish, both along Tayuman Street. My mom moved when she married my father, pero dala pa rin niya ang pagka-Tondo girl niya. Ang tapang ng mama ko at walang uruan sa away. Ganun. It was fun to visit that area with my older siblings because they remember what used to be there better than I do. Example, yung Pure Gold Tayuman used to be an Alhambra cigar and cigarette factory. The Pretil Public Market used to be Cine Gloria. These buildings were erected about 100 years ago, and since naabutan pa na kuya ko yon, they were probably torn down around the 1970s, 1980s. Tondo is historically relevant as it is one of the oldest documented settlements in the Philippines. Scholars generally agree that it was mentioned in the Laguna copper plate inscription, dating back to the year 900. According to William Henry Scott in his book Prehistoric Source Materials, what we know of pre-colonial Tondo is based on Malay texts, Philippine oral traditions, Chinese tributary records, early Spanish writings, and archaeological evidence from the region around Manila Bay, Pasig River, Laguna Lake. In the early Spanish colonial period, Tondo was where the Chinese community or the Sanglis lived. It was the site of the Sangli Massacre of 1603. During the late Spanish colonial period and the American period, Tondo was where the middle-class Filipinos lived. During the war, the area was destroyed. After the war, the area was rebuilt, but many, like my mom and her siblings, moved away to places less densely populated. Minsan it feels good to revisit places where your ancestors lived to appreciate their sacrifices, their strength, and the decisions they made that may have changed the trajectory of your family's life. Think about it. O, diba?